Hi, this is Jorgelina from Pixel Art Mysteries and Education, and you are watching a reformatting video. I am going to piggyback off of Juliane's awesome summer ice cream gnome. This is Fred from her Fred and Betty collection, and later on, Fred and Betty will definitely continue to be on our Teachers Pay Teachers with an easier way to reformat these so you can use them on your classroom. But what I'm going to show you today is based off of that. We are reformatting. So if you have any questions on that, go back and watch Juliane's video. I will link it to this video as well. But I'm going to show you how to add multiple answers. So let's say you have an activity like the one I have here where there's more than one possible correct answer, and you don't want your students to believe their answer is incorrect when in fact it is correct. It's just different than what you would have written, right? So I like to always go back to decimal places, right? 1/2 and 0.5 are the same thing. So if you want to accept both because you're not working on fractions, then this is one way of doing it. In this particular activity, students are given a word phrase and they have to translate that into an algebraic expression. So the ones here that are already colored in, all of these have already been formatted. That's why you see pieces of Fred pop up. But all the ones in yellow here, those have not been formatted, which is why Fred is not complete. So those are the ones that I'm going to talk about. So this first one here, I'm not going to go through all of them, just a couple so that you can get the feel of how to add multiple answers. I think a couple of examples will be enough. So the first one says 1 plus the product of 2 and m, right? So this is the way that I wrote it, 2m plus 1. But there's a lot of different ways that students can write that. So I'm going to start off by right-clicking here because I want to see the conditional format. So I'm going to right-click, go down to view more cell options, and then up to the conditional formatting. So I'm going to click on that, and the conditional formatting is going to pop up. I'm going to scroll so that I can see the question. So the correct answer right now, it's currently set to 7. These are all the fields that we have to tell what the correct answer is. If you only had one answer, if your only possible answer was 2m plus 1, you would just click on that. And then we need parentheses because it's no longer just a number, it's a phrase. So 2m plus 1. Okay, so that's the first option. You see it changed colors, but this is not the only way that students can write this, right? Students can also write 1 plus 2m. So I'm going to add another rule, and it's important that you do that from this portion here so that when you add it, it's just copying the rule. And I'm going to change this here to 1 plus 2m. And nothing changed, right? Because that's already formatted to what I have typed in there as the correct answer. But this is another option that if students type that in, they still have the correct answer, right? Another way that students can write this, I'm going to add another one, is 1 plus, and then they can do 2 times m plus the product of 2 and m, right? So if they have the parentheses and they write it that way, that's another way that they can write it. I'm not going to give them the option for that one just because I do eventually want to show them how to do it correctly when I am teaching this. So those are the two options that I would allow here, 2m plus 1 and then 1 plus 2m. And you can see that the new rule is at the bottom. So now I have to do it again for the other colors. So I'm going to click on here, 2m plus 1, add another rule, 1 plus 2m, done. Next color, 2m plus 1, add another rule, 1 plus 2m, done. And one more color, I could tell because that one still has a 7. 2m plus 1, add another rule, 1 plus 2m, done. Perfect. So those are done. The next one, it says a number p tripled plus x doubled, right? So on this one, you could take 2x plus 3p. It would be rare for students to write it that way since it's given to them this way. But we could, just for the sake of it. Again, I want to go from the beginning. So I'm going to close this out. Let's say we were starting again. I'm going to click on here, right click, view more cell options, conditional formatting. And I'm clicking on this one. So this one's the one I'm formatting. Quotes, 3p plus 2x. I will add the other option. Again, I don't think students would write it this way, but maybe 2x plus 3p would be the other way. Done. One more. Quotes, 3p plus 2x. Add another rule, 2x plus 3p. And you do have to add it to all the colors. Here's the tip. If you forget one color and then students do the second variation, all the colors won't come up and they'll still think something's wrong in the end. And it'll just create a little bit of issues with them trying to troubleshoot what's going on. So 3p plus 2x, add another rule. So again, any rule that you add, you do have to make sure that you add it for all of the colors. Okay, so that is how you add multiple answers. Again, just so that you remember the tips that we went through, if you wanted additional answers for this one, once you right click, you go to conditional formatting, and then you have to make sure that you edit all colors. Okay, when you click on the color, and only when you're on this page here do you hit add a new rule. What I mean by that is notice how right here I have add a new rule. So I can add a new rule from here, but it's just a blank rule. It's not telling me what it is. It's just applying it to this field. Notice the difference. I just hit cancel. When I click on here, I have all of those fields that I want this rule to apply to, which are linked to this pixel image here. Okay, so again, you only add the new rule after you've clicked on here. Okay, so after you click on here, you edit it, and then you go to add a new rule. I hope this video was useful, and we'll see you on the next one.